Hey, my scrappy friends. Welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. My name is Cilla. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is maybe a touchy subject. I tend to do that from time to time because when I'm creating or when I'm in my room and having to address my personal issues of lack of space due to overcrowding because I have too many supplies, I analyze why. I'm a pretty analytical thinker, and if I can get to the soul of a problem, down to the roots, then I know I can find a solution. So that's kind of where my brain goes a lot of time, especially if I'm knee deep in cleaning and trying to condense my supplies. I'm thinking through the scenarios that got me to this point. Now, it's easy to say, well, you just shop too much. Sure, I've been shopping for since 1999, and I took a break for 8 years that I did not purchase scrapbook supplies at all. I even gave some of my scrapbook supplies away during that time period. I still created. I did paper crafting, but I did not scrapbook, and I did not purchase. So at the end of 2017, when I started in earnest using my scrapbook supplies again, I can remember vividly in 2018 thinking, all of my supplies are so old. I would like to purchase new collections, new supplies to refresh what I have. And that began this snowball avalanche that turned into the space that I'm dealing with right now, because there was so much good stuff coming out current, and during that 8-year period that I did not purchase, I felt like I had missed out on a lot of great product. And every time I would see something old that was in that time frame, especially if I liked it, or if it was one of those brands like My Mind's Eye that I loved when I stopped scrapbooking, I would buy it. So I was dealing with kind of an emotional thing about the time period that I felt like I missed out, and I was dealing with the onslaught of new product coming out and wanting what was new. One of those collections that came out, I did not do my due diligence. Now, being more intentional about my purchasing is relatively new, as in I've been doing it probably in the last 2 years, and more concentrated this last year, these most recent months. So when this collection came out, and this is the name, it's Indigo and Ivy. So we're just going to let this, while I'm talking, we're going to look at it. When it came out, I did not do my due diligence. I didn't look at every single paper. I saw this paper and fell in love. Still love it to this day. And if I had bought 2 or 3 of this paper and used it to go with other collections or kits, I can now tell you I would have been so much happier. But no, I bought a 6x6. I bought the entire collection. Now, I've used it some, but I bought the entire collection. I bought a sticker sheet. I bought, this came in one of my scrap room kits. I bought this at Tuesday Morning. I got one of these at Tuesday Morning and one of them from scrapbook.com. Have all of this product from Indigo and Ivy. And once I started looking through it, when I purchased it, I was so upset at myself because I really like this one. This is okay. And we're just going to go piece by piece and my impressions. This is my opinion based on how I know I scrap and the photos that I have. Now, Jenny Linguini, that is her YouTube channel. She made a comment to me in a private conversation that I thought, wow, that is a mouthful right there. That packs a punch. And she made the comment about, I don't want to buy that because I know what photos I have to scrap and it doesn't match any of them. And I sucked in my breath when I read it. I was like, oh wow, that is kind of a new way to think that I had not thought before, because I had generally always purchased paper and supplies based on if I think it's pretty. It didn't matter if it matched what I have or my style. If it's pretty, I wanted it. And embellishments I purchase if they go with a collection that I own. I don't purchase embellishments on their own. Almost never. I purchase embellishments if they go with a collection. So, this I love. This I thought, I guess I don't really scrapbook with feathers, but I could fussy cut those as a piece of paper. I don't like it. This is just okay. But I would use that, I think. I am not impressed with this at all. And I'm not impressed with this. So here's a piece of paper that the likelihood of me using it, because I'm telling you, when I come into this collection, and I have used some of it, if I don't like the paper, I avoid it. That's just reality. So this one is a paper that I avoided. I don't like it. This I love. That is beautiful to me. This, not so much. So I have two of those. I can use that. But in my opinion, these don't go together. And I think that's why this collection bothered me once I got it. It just felt like two different collections. It had the greens and the natural tones, and then it had the blue tones. And although blue and green do go together, there wasn't that piece that just kind of pulled it all together. So right now we have these three that I really like. This, I'm not impressed with it, and I'm not impressed with this. This is not my style, and this is not my style. Even though it's kind of basic and neutral and generic, and I see like leopard spots, and that's just like, no. Could I use it? Yes. And because I bought it, I can use it like this as a background piece, and it would work. So I'm going to keep it for that reason. I do like this, but this is just okay. So I like that. We're going to keep it. I'm going to keep this one because it's the B-side to that. This wood grain I like. I'm not real fond of this. This looks like a loosely woven fabric with this pattern in it. This diamond pattern, and I'm just I don't love it, but I can use the wood grain. That is usable, and that I like. And once again, we're back to this one that is just, it's just okay. Excuse me. So when you lay it all out, like I said, if I look, I have ones turned up that are usable to me. there isn't anything that binds this together. And that to me was a little disappointing. So, and these are with what this piece of cardstock came with my scrapper kit. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to get rid of the things that I don't love. There's 2 pieces that I'm getting rid of. I don't love them. As I go through my room and I'm working with these collections, this is one that I just had to have. I felt like I had to have all of it. And once I got it, wasn't that crazy about it. So I want to prevent making those kind of decisions in the future. I'm having to sit with them now. But when I speak about due diligence, I mean going in and looking at every image that's online to see if I like it, if I can use it. And when I'm buying embellishments, I'm not likely to use sequins. I'm not a huge user of wood veneer. And honestly, these hearts is probably the only thing that I would use. I do not need 2 packs of embellishments. That's the kind of decisions that I've got to start being careful and being more mindful of in the future. I like stickers and I will use stickers. But 40 pieces, do I need 80 pieces of embellishments? No, I don't. These are just, no. I'm a little, I don't want to say shame. I don't want to say that I felt shame, but just maybe a little disgruntled about this particular collection. I just felt like I had to have it. I've talked to Teresa about it before. It was a collection that I had to have and had never used it. And it was just sitting on my shelf. So she challenged me to use it during the 30 days of sketches. And I have. I've already scrapbooked a page with it. But now I'm going to get rid of the things that I don't think I will use. I'm going to go through the 6x6 and get rid of the pieces in it that I don't think I'll use. That's where I am right now. As I'm pulling things off of my shelf, if it does not inspire me, I'm going to allow somebody else to look through it and see if they will use it or donate it. I'm just not going to keep holding on to things that don't inspire me, don't make me want to use it right away, because you know how that feels. When you see something that's just like, oh, I can't wait to scrapbook with that. Or you see it and you think, oh, I've got a story for that. That is so fun. And I think sometimes for myself, I'm just speaking for myself, I think sometimes I get in a creative slump because I'm pushing myself to use product that is just really not that inspiring to me. It's a personal issue for each one of us. What inspires me may not inspire you, and what inspires you may not inspire me. That's why giving our supplies to one another, sharing, donating, that's why that is such a fun part of this hobby, because if I can't use it, somebody else can. Why would I sit here and hoard it when somebody else can use it? And I know I will never. When I get that feeling, I will never use that. It's gone. That's just where I am. So I wanted to talk about that today. It's a little bit of a deep subject, but I tend to do that. I really get into my head when I'm looking through my supplies, and I look for the reason why, and then I start looking for the solution or a method to keep myself from repeating those poor choices. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell me down in the comments below how you prevent yourself from making poor choices. I would love to know. Let's talk again soon.